Welcome back to Brownlow Books, where it is somewhat spooky book month because I am a big old fucking wuss, and yes, I am dressed as a bat. It's the little things, people. Enjoy them. Alright, so, I have a review. My bat wing's in the way. Okay. I did receive an advance review copy for this particular book, and I saw on Goodreads that it had a tag of horror on it. Like, it was like thriller, and then there was a tag of horror. But I don't really know what's horror about it, unless you're counting the horrors of evangelical Christians. So, I read Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Established author, I guess. I've never read anything else by them, so, like, this is my first thing with them. But, yeah, I liked it. Giving it away all up front. I liked it. It follows Ruth, who is a evangelical preacher's daughter in this, like, swampy Louisiana town. And her, like, BFF is this boy that people literally say is the son of the devil. Yeah. So, the book starts with a skull being pulled out of the swamp. Seriously, I love the first line in this book. It's long, it's a paragraph, but I love it. Maybe you'll see it if you follow some of my socials. Go check out my Instagram. Okay, so that's kind of where it starts. It is a thriller, as I said, but I'd go as far to say that it is a romance thriller. And it even says so on the back, where it says, Where the Crawdads Sing meets Twilight meets Thelma and Louise in this brilliantly realized, totally original thriller, but also, like, compares itself to Verity in the blurb. And something called A Flicker in the Dark, which I have not read. I don't even know who that's by. But I liked this. And I like Verity, so maybe I'll like that. We'll get to that in the future. So, what I like about this book is obviously Ruth, our preacher's daughter, who is BFFs with the son of the devil, Everett. I love his name, Everett. I love it shortened to Ever. I love everything about these two, even though it is horrible. So, the book does have a nice, steady, solid build-up. There's no... I wouldn't say no. There's very little waffling about. You know, sometimes you get those thrillers where you're like, why are you doing this? This is pointless. It doesn't have a lot of that. So I really enjoy that. It's a great bit. I love the fucking swamp. It said Where the Crawdads Sing on the back there. I loved the marsh. I loved the marsh. I love the swamp. It is dark and moody and gothic, and I'm just like, oh, everything here can fucking kill you. It's fantastic. Love it. Love the swamp. So yes, as I said, it is a thriller romance. It's not horror, like it's tagged on Goodreads by someone, like, no. But yeah, like thriller romance, there is, you know, murder, we're pulling a skull out of the swamp. There is this like wonderful obsessive love. There is this like crazy restrictive evangelical religion. And there's this like backdrop of the opioid crisis in a small town in Louisiana, you know? So, like, it's got the things. It's got the things you want. It's even got, like, local folklore of this, like, vampiric creature that comes out of the swamp and kills you if you're, like, bad. And I'm just like... And they call him the Low Man, and I'm like, that's just so very southern... like Louisiana swamp, like the Low Man. I'm like, yes, it's amazing. I love that. As I said, I love Ruth. I love everything about Ruth except her fucking name. If you've known me for a long time, you know exactly why I don't like the fucking name Ruth. If I had friends who named their child Ruth, I would stop talking to those friends. That's how bad it is. That aside, there is one more thing I don't like about her. Her obsession with Twilight. I thought it would be like a passing mention in the first little bit, and I was just like, ugh, Twilight. Are you fucking kidding me? But, yeah, it works out, and it leads to actually a really funny scene later in the book with Everett, and I'm just like, this is fucking hilarious. I can't get over this. Like, it's obviously, like, I have not read, I read, like, 3 chapters of Twilight and was like, what is this garbage? I have not read all of Twilight, but I have seen at least one fucking movie. And so I know that there's, like, you're a vampire kind of thing going on, and, like, it leads to a scene later. It's just fucking hilarious. It's fucking amazing. Also, Ruth is a librarian, so, like, yes, please, thank you. What I really like about Ruth, to get to the point, she starts off kind of weak and has this, like, inner, like, I'm a strong person, but, like, is obviously still doing things to please other people kind of thing. But, by the end of it, you're just like, wow, the growth. Wow, the growth. I love it. Amazing growth. Good job. So yeah, I loved so much of this. And by so much, I mean literally all of it, except for the ending. I'm talking, like, literal last, like, 2 to 3 pages. I was just like, really? We're doing this? And then the last line, I'm like, So, I mean, mute me for a minute if you don't want to hear a spoiler. Yeah, the ending is very, very ambiguous. Like, the most ambiguous. Remember how I said Thelma and Louise earlier? So, that was my... You can come back. You can come back now. So that's my one thing I really, truly did not like about it. I was like, no, I want a solid ending to this. So... Can't always get everything that we want. Really solid book otherwise, though. Like, I was like 4 pages in and recommending it to my friends already. Like, that's how, like, instantly in love with it I was. Like, I took a photo of the first page and sent it to my friends, like, you're gonna want to read this. And some of them were like, oh, I do. So, like, that tells you a lot right there. From the first fucking page, my friends are like, yes, give it. Which they will after this video. Maybe. We'll see. Sorry, I'm just looking over my notes. Okay. This book has a lot of trigger warnings. But the delightful thing about this book is that the trigger warnings are right there. This is the first book I've actually possessed that I've seen the trigger warnings in. I've heard about it. Actually, it might be the second book. I think I got another advanced copy like a year or 2 ago, Echoes of Silence. I feel like it had trigger warnings written right in it, but I can't remember exactly because, man, that book was full of fucking trigger warnings. I was just like, the entire fucking thing is a trigger warning. Holy shit. Okay, so this says content warnings, religious fundamentalism, abso-fucking-lutely, substance abuse, ableism. I don't recall this, but I did read this like over a week ago, and so like the fine minute details of it might not be fresh. I think I know what they're talking about. I think it's like, yeah. I remember now. I don't want to spoil it for you though. Okay, colonialism. All of North America, am I right? Okay, familial violence, very much so. So very much so. Sexual violence, yes. It does appear earlier in the book for the most part, like it's one instance. It's not like a continuous thing. Child abuse. And murder, which you could kind of guess from the first paragraph of a skull being pulled out of the swamp. So, yeah, a lot of content warnings. But, like, it is a thriller, so you kind of expect some of those that I said, right? Very important to, like, point at some of the ones like child abuse and sexual violence, because those are usually the biggest ones for people. But yes, despite all of those horrible, horrible things, I loved this. I feel like I haven't read a lot of thrillers in the past year, maybe. Like true thrillers. Like, I have things that have suspense, but not like a true thriller, and this scratched an itch. Oh boy, did this scratch an itch. So yes, it is somewhat spooky book month. It is the second. This book comes out tomorrow. So we're a little late on the pre-order, but check out your favorite local independent bookseller tomorrow and pick this up. And if that has to be Indigo, then so be it. But fuck that company named after a river in the jungle. Okay. Yeah, so should you read it? Do you like thrillers? Abso-fucking-lutely. Like, this has made me go, do I want to read more by her? They keep sending me arcs where I'm like, more? So, like, good job giving me a free book to make me want to buy 5 more. Like, that is a brilliant marketing strategy with me, apparently. Oh my god. Like, some of the... I was looking at, like, the books she's read, and some of them are romance and some of them are thrillers, and I'm like, what an odd combination. But then we have this, like, whole genre of romantic thriller that we've been having, like, really pushing out of the frameworks recently. And by recently, I want to say, like, since Verity was published, I feel like everyone's doing it now, and I'm like, I got no problem with this. Not gonna lie, I liked Verity. It doesn't hold up on a reread. I've got that video somewhere. But, like, yes. This is way less sexual than Verity. If you're, like, hearing it compared to Verity and going, oh, I don't. Way less sexual. Like, one sex scene. But boy, is it a doozy. Okay. I am venturing into weird now. So, yeah. I think I covered everything I really wanted to cover. And so, yes, read the book. I will say, like I said, it's still advanced at this point. But it had, I think it was around 450 ratings on Goodreads. And, like, it had a solid 4 stars at least. So, like, I am not the only person who thinks this. This isn't just a me thing. Other people are enjoying this book. So, yes, tomorrow, go find this book. It's great. I enjoyed it so much. All right. Thank you for joining. Where did my head go? There. Thank you for joining me for Somewhat Spooky Book Month. Because this was not that spooky. It had moments. But yes, thank you for joining for Somewhat Spooky Book Month, and I will see you next Monday.